You know what's, I don't know if anybody can hear me good enough. I'm gonna check. You know what I find interesting is, I don't know if you guys remember the game Rocket Power. I'm sure y'all watched the show, but they had a video game, my favorite of all time, Beach Bandits. And basically the whole strategy behind the villain who goes by the name Golem, I believe it's Golem, he wanted to do the most obnoxious plot. He was a plotter, he was a schemer of all time by taking away the sand in the beach away from tourists, you know, your everyday life of just enjoying your days in the beach, having a good vibe, just for little Golem over here to sabotage it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about just the breakdown of that story of the game, and then go into how that carries on with AI today, because I find it quite fascinating how this game seemed to be literally on point of everything that is happening currently. So the whole strategy known as the economic sabotage, I'm on AI because I didn't have to, but I was wanting to like summarize, you know, the plot of the game. And so the core of Golem's initial plan was to ruin the town's tourism-based economy so the corporation could buy up local businesses as a fraction of their value. Stealing the sand was number one. Using a fleet of garbage bots, Golem Industries physically removed all the sand from the beaches, making surfing and beach activities impossible. They also drained the water from the lakes through a series of pumping stations to use as a resource for their hidden industrial operations. Public deception. While secretly causing the problems, Eric Golem Sr., the robot, the face of the company, publicly offered money and technical help to solve the crisis, positioning the company as the town's savior while they consolidated power. While they consolidated power, they gained power. Man, that's so sneaky when you just hear that plot. But you're gonna really see when I piece together this plan with how it has a lot carried on today. It's quite wild how these early 2000 games were like predicting, you know, what was to come. It's like they knew behind the scenes, yo, we know what's going on in the future because of being in these positions of power. Let's make it in a storyline hinting at what's to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy when you really look at this video game and you see how things have seemed to become the future. The industrial goal. The resources stolen from the town were used to fuel a massive secret manufacturing complex. Robot army, for example, Golem built a massive underground factory to produce an army of robots like the Sharkbot and Ninja robots to guard its operations. The earthquake machine, hidden in a volcano layer at Mondo Mountain. I remember that. You got to skateboard or you got to surf down the sand. That game was so fun, bro. Golem used an earthquake machine to further destabilize the area and protect his headquarters. The final in-game plan. Once his original plan was exposed and his robot father was destroyed, Eric Golem Jr. revealed his ultimate weapon, a tsunami machine. Frustrated by the Rocket Power gang's interference, he planned to use a massive machine to create a tsunami that would completely wipe ocean shores off the map. In the end, Eric revealed his actions were driven by loneliness. His actual father had sent him to military school, and he built the robots and the empire because he had no human friends. Man, bro, when you just remember those days, I was gonna say, man, I don't even know why I said man. I guess I feel like Elon popped in my head. I don't know if he had friends or not, but you see like how he has all these robots and stuff like that, you know. it's just wild seeing technology and the rise of robots. But I mean, he's not the only one that's a part of robots. There's other billionaires too. I wouldn't want to throw that on him like, oh, he's plotting and scheming, you know, to do something because he didn't have friends. But no, on a serious note, I think it's crazy when we look into what's actually happening today. So as we read that, what do we got here? Draining the lakes, for example. AI is using the Great Lakes region strain. Data centers are increasing, popping up around the Great Lakes due to the abundance of water. However, the surge is prompting concerns about the long-term sustainability of this resource, with experts warning that even large lakes can face water shortages under high demand. So that's one. When we think about the lakes that were being used, for example, in rocket power, and the reason they're using so much water is for cooling. You have to have cooling because of the. I'm gonna actually go to where it explains it. Industrial cooling. Just as AI data centers use millions of gallons of water to absorb heat from servers, Eric Golem Jr. needed a vast amount of water to support his massive robot factory without cooling high-power machinery and supercomputers like the game's villainous computer Cyrex would overheat and fail. And then I asked, do AI robots need water today? And they say, yes, AI systems and even some cut-edge physical robots rely on water today. Humanoid robots. Modern physical robots are becoming so powerful that they face the same overheating issues as humans. To solve this, engineers are literally making robots sweat. Sweating robots companies like, I don't know how to pronounce this name, have experimented with 3D printed bionic sweat glands that release small amounts of water to prevent motors from overheating during heavy work. If we also remember when I was reading about this whole plot behind the game, the villain in the video game, Golem, he was also messing with the economy and buying up local businesses because of the strain they were having from him affecting tourism by taking the water, taking the sand, etc. And I was curious how AI is affecting towns' tourism-based economy for beaches negatively, just like, you know, for example, the game. And it says, while AI offers many tools of efficiency, it presents several negative impacts on town-based beach economies by driving over tourism, displacing local labor, and eroding the authentic human charm that many coastal travelers seek. I was curious also if they have been bought up, like have tourists had to deal with, you know, rich people trying to buy up local businesses over, or selling, or people like selling. And let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, I said, are the locals getting local businesses bought up over economic issues? And it says, in simple terms, yes, but it's happening indirectly. While AI isn't personally buying businesses, it creates a set of economic pressures that make it harder for locals to stay independent, often leading them to sell to larger corporations or outside investors. Just all these little details you're hearing, bro, is in the video game. Like, is that not crazy? This game came out like 2000 or 2002. Something you get to know in life over time of like, wow, these games were like telling us the future. It's pretty interesting.